My name's Rick White. I'm the Director Chief of the Nashville Fire Department, and we're here today on a very special occasion. The Nashville Pet Emergency Clinic has donated pet masks. These masks are going to be used with various pets. I like to say four-legged pets, but some of them are just three-legged, some of them are two-legged, and some of them are one-legged. So this is going to be able to be used on all different pets that may be in respiratory distress as a result of being exposed to heavy smoke and heat conditions associated with a house fire. We've used these masks in the past. We didn't have the abundance of them that we're going to get now, but they've been very successful. A lot of people out here that are listening to this are pet lovers. I happen to be one of those, and I stand by it firmly. If you're not a pet lover, well, I respect your right not to love a four-legged animal. But anyway, these donations total to around $2,000. It's like I said, once again, it's a very, very good thing for the fire department. I don't know how many times I've been to fires where pets were actually killed. I don't know how many times we have had to pull people out of burning buildings that were going back in to rescue their pets. So hopefully this will give us a buffer zone to where we can help those that need the help the most and continue to have owners live a long and healthy life with their pets. I'm going to introduce the next person that really needs no introduction, my boss. And she's the mayor of this great city, the great mayor of this great city of Nashville. And she is a proponent of neighborhoods. She's a proponent of public safety, schools, and a whole host of other things. But right now I'd like to introduce Mayor Megan Berry.
Thanks, Chief. I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, thanks, Chief, and thank you all for being here. We also are joined by some of our furry friends with us today, and I really want to thank the Nashville Pet Emergency Clinic who offered up these great pet oxygen masks so that every fire station in our city is going to have access to these, and they're also training our great firefighters how to use them. So when they offered, it didn't take us long to say yes. We absolutely wanted to make sure that this important equipment could be out there on these fire trucks. I've got two rescue dogs, Hank and Boris, and they are a huge part of my family, and I know that that's the same for many families in Nashville. So making sure that our pets are safe is also just as important as making sure that our humans are safe. And these pets are going to have the ability to have these life-saving oxygen masks when they are confronted with, when our firefighters go into a situation where they may have a pet in distress. So I'm incredibly grateful for Dr. Craig Pryor and also Carrie Foley-Koch and everyone else at the Nashville Pet Emergency Clinic, because without them this wouldn't be possible. They are giving this to the city as a gift, and so we are so grateful for that. And so now all of our great firefighters will have access to this, and I know that my family and Boris and Hank are very grateful. So Dr. Pryor, please come on up and bring your furry friend.
Thank you very much, Megan.
Yeah.
So on the behalf of the National Pet Emergency Clinic, we feel this is very important. Nationwide, there are estimated between 40,000 and 150,000 animals die every year from fires, mostly from smoke inhalation. To be able to counteract that, one of the biggest things is we have to be able to get oxygen administered to these animals as soon as possible. So we felt it was important for us, because the National Pet Emergency Clinic, we're the only locally owned and operated, only AHA certified, and we've been in this community next year for 40 years, and we see the devastating effects that happens from smoke inhalation. We felt it was incredibly important to be able to provide to the city of Nashville these kits that actually got 3 mask sizes in them, to be able to get them on every truck so that animals have a better chance, so that when we get them, we've got a better chance of saving them. And it's indeed our greatest pleasure to be able to do this for the city of Nashville. We're also going to provide the training. We've got 2 techs and one of our emergency doctors here to be able to train all the fire department in their use, and then refresh them on CPR for animals as well. So thank you very much.
Sure, and Dr. Pryor, don't go anywhere. So I know that, who's our friend here?
That's Mood. She's my pet.
She's your pet. Now, last year we actually had a picture that went viral of a firefighter who used one of these apparatus on a pet and saved that pet's life. And I think that firefighter's here, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Come on down. So I have to tell you, firefighter, last year when that picture was shown and it went all over the Nashville community and beyond, this was the inspiration for us to know that we needed more of this equipment. And so when Dr. Pryor said, we want to be able to donate these to the community, we were so grateful. But we were so grateful that you had access and saved that pet. And what was that pet's name? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember it was a white Chihuahua.
Yes, it was a little white Chihuahua, and it was that the family was so grateful to you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Dr.
you,
Pryor,
because
thank
our
you.
pets are so important to all of us. They just
sir.
enrich our lives so much.
They
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Dr. Pryor, thanks again. This is amazing. Thanks, you guys. Any questions? You got what you needed?
And I'm going to turn it over to our
To
crew
you
from the
guys?
National Pet Emergency Clinic to give some demonstrations.
Awesome.
So we have 3 different sizes in each kit, and just to give you an idea, this is a small, and this is the medium, and this is the larger size. And there are additional oxygen hoses which can be attached to each one of these masks, and these attached to the oxygen source. Sorry, who wants to come first?
I think it's Moo.
Yeah, I think it's me.
Move. This might be a little bit too long. So when we have a pet that needs oxygen, we should be able to provide oxygen that way.
Good girl. Good girl.
Wow.
Or if we get a smaller pet or a cat, this size can be used for both.
Good girl, maybe.
She may find it. You guys get the point. And we're also attaching to each one of these kits just general instructions, vitals, CPR, along with little graphs here so that they're quick, easy references in case you need them at time of emergency.
You can also take the rubber off of those for a dog like Gumbo's size. He might not, most of your big dogs might not tolerate having this mask put on that way, so you can just remove the rubber and simply place their nose, in it as well. In addition, with those tubes, if you have a pet that won't tolerate a mask, and some of them will not, you can simply attach, your tube to your oxygen canister and then just run the tube as close to their nose as they'll let you. Especially cats, they sometimes are a little bit tougher to deal with, than our doggy patients.
And then as far as the aftercare, which is very simple, you take off the little rubber and you just wash it in some warm soapy water, rinse it off, and they're good to go after they're dried out. So
So now the other thing was that you were going to teach them how to do CPR. Now with humans, you do it to staying alive. Is that the same with dogs and cats?
It is the same. We have provided a training video we made a couple of weeks ago that all the firefighters can have access to that does kind of go over that in more detail. But it's not a lot different than, human CPR. Most of your patients are going to be laying on their side, and you're going to start compressions first, just like you would, with the human. And then obviously provide your oxygen, as well. We can do a demonstration with
we do that.
our CPR crash dog. Obviously, he's appropriately named Crash.
You guys have a CPR crash
We
dog?
sure do.
That is so awesome. Where is he? Carrie's on it.
Carrie's.
Okay,
He's coming.
excellent. But it is all in the training video as well. For sure, we'll give you a quick
Get out
demo.
this, yeah, let's get out
And
the-
remember, there is a size difference between a human and a 26-pound dog. So don't use the same pressure you would on a 150-pound person on a 26-pound dog. We don't want you to smush him or her.
Have you tried to do CPR on this dog?
No.
I love that you guys have a crash dog.
It is so hard. So Crash is not the most attractive patient, but we love him anyway. So as far as CPR goes, compressions, 100 to 120 beats per minute is your goal. Staying alive, is certainly fair. Obviously, if you've got people watching, I don't know how much they would appreciate that, but you do what you got to do. As far as positioning, for most pets, this is probably a fairly average size for a dog. You're going to place your hands right behind their elbow, and they can be in left or right lateral position. And then, just like with people, you don't push from the elbow, you push from the shoulder. And this guy is really hard. And you will occasionally crack ribs. It does happen, Little dogs, like maybe there, you can use one hand and simply put it around her chest and compress. As far as breathing goes, if you've got one person doing compressions, other person simply needs to get the mask, on the pet. And then every 7 to 8 seconds, you can actually give a breath to the dog. Do you want to demonstrate the mouth to snout technique?
So close the mouth with one hand, use the other hand, cupping around the nostrils, and blow.
And this guy plays for us. So we know we've given an adequate breath. You will see the chest.
Oh, you'll see
rise.
the
Yes, so
Rise.
that's kind of neat. And I mean, that's the basics. Unfortunately, for pets that are truly crashing, I don't know what the statistics are for humans, but they probably have less than a 10% chance of survival if they truly have no heartbeat. If you're in doubt, it's fair to start compressions and certainly get oxygen on the pet and getting them to a veterinarian as quick as you possibly can.
Well, what a great gift and what a great tool so that our firefighters can know how to do this, and we are really grateful. This dog is heavy.
I know. They should try to do compression.
No kidding. That's
It's
pretty
definitely
amazing.
worse than a regular patient.
That's amazing. Anyway, we are so thankful. Thank you guys for doing this.